Between 65 to 90% of your typical shampoo, conditioner can be water. But we have water in our bathroom. So why do we have water in our products? I started in my kitchen 2012. I formulated 4 shampoo bars and 1 conditioner bar over the course of probably a few months. I started selling on a community forum and it blew up. I was making 1 kg batches, sort of 7 or 8 of them a day, hand mixing, hand pouring, hand moulding. I had this overarching goal that we would save 1 million bottles from landfill, which seemed like this enormous, insurmountable goal. We wanted to grow internationally. That was how we were going to save as many plastic bottles as possible.
That smells amazing.
All right. Right.
So we started experimenting with Google Ads. And it's just an easy way to get in front of an audience who wouldn't ordinarily know you, but people who want an environmentally friendly product. And there we are, top of the page. Almost immediately, it led to our first international order, which was so exciting. And that was how we knew that this product had global potential.
We left California on May 14th, and that involved us sailing 9,000 miles over about 6 months. In that time, we trawled and we collected microplastics strewn throughout the islands. Plastics never actually break down. It's toxic. Fish and plankton are eating these plastics. We're eating the fish. It's going into our food chain. It's killing our ecosystem. At the rate we're going right now, by the year 2050, we'll have more plastic in the ocean than actual fish. If we kill our ecosystem, we kill ourselves.
I've always had a passion for the environment. I started caring about saving the environment when I realised how fast we were destroying it. What we're doing is very much focused on ocean plastic. I wanted to see what we were trying to save. I want to put a bar in every shower. We need to stop using so much low-use, single-use plastic. I want to change consumers' behaviour, so instead of thinking, I need to buy a bottle of shampoo, they think, where is my shampoo bar? Stuff doesn't have to come in a bottle. It's not necessary, just requires a bit more thought. The natural world is hugely important to me. It's what we're fighting to protect.
Tango wind 300 degrees, 10 knots, turn 1 at 009 and no reported traffic.
We just hit 1 million bottles saved, which is about 25 tonne of plastic, but it kind of pales in comparison to the extra 6 million we're going to save next year.
Hello
Hello and welcome once again to Tech Talk. We talk all things technical, of course, and as you're no doubt aware, we have a very strong relationship with Beepo Outsourcing in the Philippines. So I've asked one of its co-founders, Mark Engelmann, to join me. Mark is also the director in charge of content, and as such has a lot to do with the technology tools that are used through Beepo and with their clients to help them keep in touch and become a lot more productive. Mark, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me on the show, Kevin.
My pleasure, my friend. Now, I've asked Mark to give us his top three tech, tech bits and pieces that you couldn't be without, Mark. The first one you nominated was Zoom. Tell me about Zoom. How does it work?
Yeah, sure. So Zoom at its core is a web conferencing or video conferencing tool, much like Skype. When we first started the business, used Skype all the time for everything. And we got to a point where we started questioning its stability in the sense that sometimes the connection wasn't great and it was a bit choppy here and there. We searched around at other solutions and we came across Zoom. And Zoom seemed to be a lot more consistent, I guess, and reliable in that sense. And we started using it, started learning about it. We started learning that it's got a whole lot of other features that make working with remote staff a lot easier. So it does things like it has a whiteboarding feature, for example. So if you're trying to explain something to someone and you think that a visual or a diagram might be easier for them to understand, then you can switch on the whiteboard feature and do a drawing or a diagram or whatever to help communicate your ideas. It's great for webinars. It's got some good webinar functionality in terms of invitations. It integrates into our CRM system and that kind of thing. You can record on it, and it's also got instant messaging capabilities. So, and you can share your screen. So all of those things combined together, along with the most important aspect was the reliability in terms of the connection. We decided to go with Zoom, and it's quite a cheap application. It starts at I think around $30 a month, and then goes up from there. But I use the $30 a month one, and it works really, really well.
Yeah, just a couple of points you made there on some of those features. Let's talk about a couple of those. One, I think, was the whiteboard, and the other one was the ability to record. I'd imagine in working with, my experiences in working through Beepo with your people there, that ability to actually demonstrate what I mean or show what I mean is quite good. And also the fact that you record something, so you only ever have to do it once, Mark.
Yeah, that's right. So the ability to record is vital when working with remote staff, especially when creating training documentation or even training people in real time. So, I use it all the time. If we, about a year ago, we implemented a new CRM, for example, and I created all of the training videos after hours when no one was at work, and then I simply emailed it through to them, and they were able to watch it the next morning and hit the ground running in terms of understanding how to do certain tasks within that system. And I might add also that the share screen function works really well when training as well, because it's not a one-way street training, it's a two-way street. And so I might demonstrate what needs to be done and how to do it correctly to the person on the other end, but then they can share their screen with me and then show me how they're doing it to demonstrate that they've understood and comprehended the training program accurately. In
your use of Zoom, have you come across any shortfalls, maybe things they could fix that we should be aware of?
Oh, look, I think coming from using Skype, I think Skype's a bit easier to use in the sense of understanding how connecting with other people works. So Zoom has this concept of a Zoom room, and what that means is it's basically a virtual office. So you don't have to send anyone a link or anything if they're in your organization. So the Beepo organization, for example, if one of my staff goes, you can just meet me in my Zoom room, I can just access the drop-down menu, find their name, and then click on it, and I appear in their room, if that makes sense. That took me a little bit of time to get my head around.
Yeah, well, I've used Zoom a few times, and I've got to admit I didn't know about the Zoom room. So there's something that I've learnt. And that would seem to me to be fairly good if there's someone you're communicating with on a regular basis. You don't have to go and send them another Zoom link.
That's right. Or if you're on the phone to someone and you want to start talking about a document or something like that, you can go, hey, look, I'll just contact you in your Zoom room and we can share our screens and then talk through this document together, rather than having to create a calendar invite or send them the link or anything like that.
Okay. So just to summarise, it is free to start, I understand?
Yeah, that's right. I think the only difference with the free version is you get a limit on the meeting time length. I think it's half an hour or 40 minutes, which for most meetings, that's probably fine anyway. And the $30 pretty much just gives you extra meeting duration.
Yeah, any meetings longer than 3 minutes, you'd lose me anyway, Mark. So it doesn't worry me.
I'll be asleep in the corner somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Okay, so that's number one, Zoom.
Yep.
So check it out. We'll give you a link. It's all the W's, Zoom, ZOOM.US. Check it out for yourself. Right. Number two you've nominated is Snagit. Is it called Snagit or Snag IT?
It's a really good question, Kevin. I don't know. I always call it Snagit. But it's a great piece of software. It's like a screen capture software on steroids. So again, when you're working with remote staff, it allows you to capture what's on your screen, but it's got a whole bunch of other functionality there. So it not only captures what's on your screen, but it can capture video. So again, if you're trying to create a training document, for example, you can be working within a system and completing fields and undertaking or completing a process, and you can record all of that. And it also records the audio, so you can provide commentary to what you're doing along the way and create really easy, simple training videos. And it also does things outside of the video. It'll do like a rolling screen capture. So say, for example, you're working with someone remotely who's building you a website or working on a large piece of marketing collateral like a brochure or something. You can scroll down the page and highlight certain things as you're giving feedback on what changes you want to be made, and then that will save that as a video, and then you can send that to the person and they can work off that rather than having to type up all of your feedback, which can sometimes take a lot of time. It just makes that whole kind of giving feedback process a whole lot easier and quicker from the customer's point of view.
Yeah, it comes out of TechSmith, I think, too, doesn't it? That's the website. Yes. They actually produce quite a number of tools like this as well. It's a good site to go to get some tech tools.
Yeah, that's right. They have a whole suite of tools. I have to admit, I've only used Snagit, and I love it.
Let's have a look at a practical. You've given us a great example there of someone who may be building a website for you. What are some of the other ways that you can use it, or how you've observed people using it in your organisation?
Yeah, so look, we first started using Snagit to build training documents and training videos. But since then, I use it in my role as kind of like the chief of content, giving feedback on big pieces of marketing collateral. I'll do a screen capture, and then I can do markups on that as well. So rather than having to try and refer to certain parts of a brochure or something in writing and try and describe what you're actually, page 4, the top left-hand corner, the picture there, you can just highlight it, put a circle around it, write a comment next to it, and just send that back. So it's almost like printing out like you might do in the office. If you're working next to someone, you'd print it out and then you'd scribble all over it with your pen, and then you'd walk up to them and you'd hand it to them and you'd talk them through each one of those points. It's much like doing that, except it allows you to do it remotely.
Yeah, well said. Okay, that's number 2, called Snagit or Snag IT, whatever. I'm pretty sure you're right. It is called Snagit. That makes more sense, I would have thought. Yeah. There's a link below to take you to the website to get a little bit more information. Okay, let's move to number 3. You've nominated G Suite. This, I would imagine, is this Google?
This is Google. And it's actually not called G Suite anymore. They've changed the name to Google for Business, I think. But it's the same as the old G Suite. And basically, this is a big application that any business can make use of. And its competitors are things like Microsoft Office, for example, but it's more than Microsoft Office as well. It's cloud-based, which is great. It includes an email client, which is based on the Gmail platform. It includes a word processing tool, a spreadsheeting tool, PowerPoint type slide presentation tool. and a whole bunch of other things. It's got a video conferencing built into it in Google Hangouts. It's got instant messaging. It's really built to help organizations be productive and be able to easily collaborate with each other. So, we use this at Beepo. We've used it from the start. It's cloud-based, like I said, so you can access it from wherever and whenever you want without having to log into a server or anything like that. And from my point of view, it's easily scalable in the sense that as you get new staff coming on and you're growing your business and you're growing your number of employees, really easy to create a new account within your business's account for that individual staff member, and they just build the subscription on top of your existing monthly subscription. So, and it's cheap. It starts at like $5 a month, and I think it goes up to $25 a month. That's
a pretty broad range, $5 to $25 a month. Obviously, as you get more bolt-on, the price increases. Is that the way it works?
Yeah. So there's enterprise level, and they have more security features and that sort of thing. I think we're on the $10 a month package. So there's no need to go all out either. I think start off small with these sorts of things and then work out what add-ons you need as you use the application.
Yeah. Mark, it's been fantastic talking to you, my friend. Thank you very much. Just to quickly run through those again: Zoom Us, TechSmith's Snagit, and also G Suite are the three recommendations from Mark Engelmann, and he is from Beepo, of course. And if you want anything to do with outsourcing, he is the man to talk to, or the team at Beepo. Hey, Mark, all the best, my friend. Thank you. I'll let you get back. I can see you've got a busy office in the background there.
Yeah, that's right. I'm over in the Philippines office, and there's about 400 people behind us working away for all of their clients and doing a great job.
And when you walk through there, of course, you know all those names, don't you?
Look, Kevin, I don't. I'll be honest with you. It grows so quickly. We're putting on so many new staff each month. Whenever I come over here, it's great. I get to meet new people in the business, so it's always very exciting.
I really wasn't expecting you to say yes, you do remember them. But, good on you.
Lying.
Good on you, Mark. Thanks a lot, mate, and we'll talk again soon.
Great, thanks, Kevin.